A often overlooked very powerful tool within DecoNetwork is the ability to use a subdomain when launching affiliate sites. So what does this mean? Well, when we launch a site, it has to have a domain name. So something like .deco-apparel.com. It has to have something there until we override it. Now, what we can do is set a custom subdomain that can be used by default. So I could be zachshirts.deco-apparel.com, or on this account, we have customshirts.org. So I could be zachshirts.customshirts.org. Sounds better than .deco-apparel.com. If I owned zachshirts.com, I can absolutely still use that domain name. So how do we make it so that it's something that we own by default instead of .deco something? Well, we come in here to the website section in the admin, Global Store Subdomains. And this is where we're going to add a domain name that we own. So I have my GoDaddy account. We're going to add this crazypetlove.com that I own. So we'll add crazypetlove domain name. And we're also going to add here the record. So you can see we're going to add a record using an asterisk as the host name, and then this IP address. So we'll come back over. We're in GoDaddy, so we're gonna do DNS records, and let's go ahead and add a new record. Set an A. The name was an asterisk, shift 8, and the value being here the IP address, and then the TTL. We're going to make it custom 600. Makes it about as instantaneous as possible. And we'll click save. So it's going to add that DNS record. Is this always instantaneous? No, it is not. But if we come back over and we click save, you can see the validation failed. It's not going to be, within half a minute typically. So we'll come and we'll click verify domains, and now you can see the Crazy Pet Love has been connected, but there still is one additional step. So it's valid. We can launch a new website. So I can add a store, and by default we can use something.crazypetlove.com. But what it won't be by default is secure. It won't have an SSL certificate by default. But we can make it that way. So we'll come into Global Store Subdomains. We'll come back to Crazy Pet Love, click on the SSL certificate, and we need to add a second record. And it's important to remember that this record is unique to this specific domain name. So it is saying we need to add a CNAME. We need to add this _ Acme Challenge as the host name. So add new record, CNAME. Put in the Acme Challenge, and then this is always unique. So we'll grab this, make sure we get it exact, paste it in there for the value, make the TTL 600 just like we did for the A record. Save that, come back over, and we're going to request this free wildcard certificate. And again, this can take a few minutes, so if you don't see it be instantaneous, don't do what I'm doing, and that is just keep clicking. It's not necessarily going to make it any faster, but it is really that simple. Once this does go through, that SSL certificate will take around 10-15 minutes to apply. And it really is a great way to white label your websites. And you can have as many global store subdomains as you want. So, I could have schoolstore.com or businessstore.com or myshirts.com. And depending on my client, that website, I can choose which domain name, subdomain, I should say, the suffix portion, makes the most sense for that client. All right. If you have any questions on how to set up a subdomain and then configure this SSL wildcard certificate, please do not hesitate reaching out to DecoNetwork by coming up to the question mark and raising a support ticket. Hopefully you find this video helpful, and thank you for watching.